everybody. I'm adjusting my little tilty thing here. Hang on, guys. You were tilting too much. Okay. I hope you can all hear me. My name's Sam, and I am Fangirl Nation's Cosplay Savant, and I'm here to talk to you today about Black Friday and about all the deals going on. Also talking to you guys a little bit about making custom corsets using existing corsets and making cosplay in general. So I'm going to share a couple things real fast. Let me get this stood up a little bit more because I can barely see you guys. I got the crazy neck thing going on. Look at this. I have this little device that I'm using right now. It's kind of like a phone tripod. And you're going to see my microphone here. So if you can't hear me, please let me know, and I will turn this off. Just switch to my phone. Okay. There. It's a little sideways. That's better. Yay. I've not done this before, so I'm having some issues. There. That is quite a bit better. All right, so let me share this real fast with you fangirls who are not currently here, and we'll go through this. Let's see here. I was going to use a scheduled link for this event. It didn't work. Apparently, I need to update the framework on my computer, which is going to take a really long time. So, you know. It happens. That's why we adapt. All right. Okay, that was weird. Facebook's being weird to me today. Hope you guys have gotten some shopping done. It's been pretty crazy, so yeah. I'm gonna go right here. Go right here. Look, I'm watching myself. This is weird. Go right here. All right. Apparently, I don't know how to copy a link. That's funny. Oh, look, I did it. Yay. Now everybody on Facebook knows about it too. All right. All right, we're done doing this crazy thing so I can talk to you guys more. Oh no, my connection. Okay. I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi here so that you guys get more of it. Okay. Hello. And if you're chatting with me, I think I can see it. Yes, I can. So when you talk to me, I should be able to see it. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit more now about the Black Friday deals going on. Some of the cosplay Black Friday deals are not just Black Friday. Here we go. So if you're a cosplayer like I am, and you really want to, you know, cosplay stuff, here are some deals that you need to be aware of that are going on this weekend. There is an Arta wig deal that starts on Monday, and it goes all the way through Wednesday. I mean, they've got deals from like 20, 30, 40% off wigs. I think the sale might vary from day. I haven't finished going through all of the details, but it's just arta-wigs.com. And you will be able to see all the amazing wigs. Arta wigs are fantastic for cosplayers because they allow you to part the wig in just about every way. They also have some wigs that are parted specific ways. So if you want to have pigtails or buns or other things like that, you can do that, and they have extra hairs that will hide the own nape of your neck, or any like side hairs. Like I'm growing out my shaved head that I had, and it's tricky to hide this behind a wig. But when you wear an Arta wig, like they have little spare hairs that go over it that kind of act as if it's your own hairline. So that's really, really, really great. Additionally, there are other wig stores having sales right now. Epic Cosplay is having a Black Friday sale. It's 20 to 40% off most of their wigs. I know that they've got 20% off of, I think, just their new wigs. I think it's, or existing wigs, but it's 20 to 40% off. Their Pish Posh wigs, which are really nice, are 30% off right now too. So that's Epic Cosplay wigs, and they're amazing. If you're also looking for more stuff that you wear on your face or head or body, you know, stuff like that, most of these wig stores also carry makeup, and they typically have those on sale as well. There's also Honey Color. Honey Color is a contact solution, or sorry, a contact distributor, and they make custom cosplay and scary effects contacts. And they're doing, I think, up to 50% depending on which contact you're looking at. They do ship to the US. They do require a prescription. You should not wear any contacts whatsoever unless you have a prescription. I already have a prescription because I wear contacts day to day anyways, so that's good. You also could use Pinky Paradise. I don't think they're having any deals. I didn't see anything on their site listing it, but they could also announce it later. If you're looking for even more deals, you could also go to Amazon. I'm not going to go through the list of deals on Amazon. It is intense. If you go to just Amazon.com and you look at the top, there's literally this little banner that says Black Friday deals, and you can filter it by whatever your heart's content is. It seems to be changing like every hour. It's pretty amazing. I think that covers a lot of like the wig and makeup and contacts thing that I can think of. There are plenty of makeup shops out there that are probably doing sales. I wouldn't be surprised if places like beauty makeup brands or Ulta, if it still exists. I'm still not sure about that. I know that Sephora is closing. I don't know when they close, but you could check that out. I think it's closing nationwide too. I don't think it's just in my state. Amazon, again, has lots of makeup. If you're into makeup that's inexpensive but good for skin that's sensitive, try ELF. It's Eyes, Lips, Face, and you can get that at Walmart or Target or just about everywhere. If you're brave enough to go to a Walmart or Target today, I wish you the best. I like to do most of my shopping online. I like to just, honestly, on Black Friday, after I complete this stream, I'm literally just going to go to a mall and like people watch. It's where I get my drawing ideas. Sorry. There are also some really good deals for fabric. So obviously, if you're making cosplay, you need fabric. This is a pre-made corset, but behind this pre-made corset, oh, I gotta move it a different way. There's a thing Creos right there, and most of that fabric is from Joann's and Fabric World and Spandex World and stuff like that. I think fabrics.com or Spandex World. Anyways, I'll talk to you about some of those deals. I'm gonna keep staying back there looking creepy. And look, there's Nora's hammer. This is my costume room. I have to have lots of space because I take up lots of space. All right, anyways, sorry, I'm being weird. Spandex World, stretchy fabrics are my favorite thing in the whole wide world. They are difficult to work with, or so I've been told. It was the first fabric I ever worked with, so it's not hard for me. I think I've just gotten used to it. But it is fantastic for someone who needs a little bit of give in their fabric, who's maybe not completely comfortable developing their own cosplay patterns and wants some stretchy fabric that will be a bit more forgiving. Spandex World has 20% up to 20% and more, I believe, on their Black Friday deals. There's also fabrics.com, and they're doing 20 to 50% off depending on the fabric and brand that you want. You can also go to Joann's. I warn you, Joann's has very slow servers, so their staff is going to fight against the slow servers. They're going to fight against the fact that that poor store is always understaffed. No matter what state I've been to, Joann's are always understaffed. I feel awful for them, those daring women and men who work there. But they have enormous deals. I mean, I saw 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, sometimes even 75% off, depending on what you wanted. Fleece deals, cotton deals, elite fabrics, like the bridal fabrics that they have. So I would really take a look at their website first and build a list. That's one big thing I'm going to recommend. If you're going to go out Black Friday shopping, or you may already have suffered from this. If you don't go out with a list, you're going to spend all your money before you get what you actually want. So maybe make a list and then go shopping. That would be better. Sam recommends making a list and then going shopping. Especially when you're promised something and you can't find it. It's a lot easier if you have the list and you've maybe still have the coupon or the SKU from the website. And then you can give the retailer the SKU and say, this is what I'm looking for, and if it's not on the shelf, maybe they'll have some in the back. But this is Black Friday. Who knows? Let's see here. I had others that I wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah, of course. There is this magical stuff called EVA foam. A lot of people like to get their EVA foam from anti-fatigue floor mats, which are not EVA foam. They're a type of foam that's similar to EVA, but it's not real EVA foam. It's more of it's a closed-celled foam that's a lot denser and thicker. It's similar to yoga mats, but a little bit lighter than that. So it's kind of somewhere in between. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. I can't remember right now. I used to know. But they are great, except for most anti-fatigue floor mats and like rolls of foam that you get, or puzzle mats, have textures on one side of them, and you either have to do one of two things. You have to like layer and then sand, or just, whatever you got to do. Sorry, my dog's barking. No, doggy. She's very protective and she sees people outside. No, baby girl. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking to my doggy. Sorry. She's not that little either. That's the funny thing. If you hear a very deep bark, it's because it's a very large dog. But cosplay, it's talking about foam. Foam. Okay, so you've got TNT Cosplay Supply. They're amazing. They have so many different versions of foam. They even have foam that's different weights that you can sew. So you can sew it, you can glue it. There's different thicknesses from like 2 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 10 millimeter. I mean, anything from about this to this, or wait, this to like this. So it's amazing. And their foam is fantastic. It stretches really well. I haven't had much, if any, problem with it tearing. The only time I've torn it was when I was being very aggressive with their 2 millimeter foam on a shield, and I ripped the foam, but not the adhesive. That was fun. Anyways, their foams are usually really, really, really durable. Just don't assume it's invincible. It's not. It's just very durable. And it's probably my favorites because it's smooth on both sides, and they sell it in like a sheet. So it's like a 2 or 4 by 6 foot sheet. It's really great. Comes with this little roll. You get like $27 and you get this giant sheet. Anyways, they're having a sale right now, and their sale is Friday. So it's Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday, and they've got really nice deals. I think they even have free shipping if you order over $100 in materials. They don't only sell foam; they also sell adhesives and attachments, and they sell plastics, and they sell, unusual fake leather fabrics. So it's a great place to go to if you're out of luck when it comes to a local foam supplier. I think, well, that covers most of it. There's also Home Depot and Harbor Freight. If you are a big fabricator and you make giant things like that hammer and the sword back there, you might need something that's a little bit bigger, right? So what you're going to do then is go to Home Depot and check out their paints and maybe their adhesives. They have lots of different deals. Their site is usually up to date, but I'd recommend just going to your local Home Depot because sometimes even the local ones have something that's a little bit different. Harbor Freight's my favorite. Not every state has them, but I love Harbor Freight because they're already low, they already have low prices. And then you go in there on their Black Friday and almost everything's 75% off. It's crazy. That's one of those stores that you have a list, you get in, you grab what you need. If you can't find it, you immediately find an associate, you have them grab it for you, and you go wait in line to check out, and then you run away from it as fast as you can because it is crazy. It's so busy. And it's really busy because they sell a lot of workbenches. They sell like belt sanders and Dremels and a lot of really heavy duty power tools. So it's not really a cosplay shop. It's like a mechanic's dream or an engineer's dream or an architect's dream or a woodworker's dream, whatever you want to name it, but it's very frequently visited, so good luck. If you are, for some reason, on my state, which is Arizona, oh, I'm sorry, I smacked the microphone, but say you're in Arizona, and you really want to get some good cosplay makeup or some tights or just you need a quick wig because you can't wait for the 2 to 3 weeks or maybe even a month it's going to take Arta and Epic to ship you your wigs because they've been inundated with orders. Go to Groovy Ghoulies in Arizona. Their makeup is 50% off right now, and almost everything else in their store is 75% off. They're closing at the end of this month, so like it is all sales final kind of thing, but they have so much stuff that would normally, like I might go there and see if they still have some gallons of liquid latex, because if it's 50% off, that's amazing. So check it out if you're in Arizona. Groovy Ghoulies, it's in Mesa next to what used to be Fiesta Mall. Don't know what they're calling it anymore. Now, say for instance, you're actually looking to buy an entire costume. You know, you're not a maker where you're gifting this to someone that you know who likes to dress up and likes to be a cosplayer or likes to wear costumes to cons. You can check out Miko Costumes. Right now they've got costumes that are anywhere from 40 to literally 90% off. No joke, there's a Borderlands Maya costume there for 25 bucks. Full costume except for the wig. It is so cool looking too. Their stuff that comes out, their cell shaded stuff is actually really decent. And if you just throw a little bit of wear and tear on it, it's a pretty good costume. So you should really check out MikoCostumes.com. It's MICCOSTUMES.com. Really good deals. And it's like honestly just fun to wander. Also, if you like Piper from Fallout 4, they're selling her leather duster and her gloves and her hat and her little scarf as a costume for like 25 bucks. That duster is usually ridiculously expensive. That's one of their costumes that I think is 90% off. Snag that while you can. Their stock will run out, so good luck. If you're looking for cosplay accessories and you want a good prop maker or a series of prop makers, I know some people that are really good into video games, so if you check out Amber Bright, she's on Etsy, or you can go to amberbright.com, and it's literally AMBERBRITE.com. She is a great latex-free headpiece maker, so she'll make like Nautiluns from Star Wars or Twi'leks, or I think she's made some of like the Hera headpieces and stuff like that. She has an assortment of Star Wars pieces, or things that were inspired by Star Wars, inspired by Overwatch, that she's kind of created custom for herself that are really good. There's also Alan Amos Creations. It's Alan, A-L-L-E-N, Amos, A-M-I-S, creations.com. He has an Etsy shop as well that you can go to. There's like a link in the upper right that says our shop or Etsy, something like that. And he's got amazing helmets. He resin casts them, he cold casts them, he can add metal powders to it to make it really reflective. He can give you a raw cast. I actually have some examples of his work right here. So this is my Amazon headpiece, which I purchased from him recently because he lives near my house, and he's my friend. I just kind of drove over. Don't do that. You need to go to his shop. Don't drive over to his house. Don't find him. He also makes little, he makes other things in this. This is just an institute that I asked him to make for me. But he makes other casts like that. He has like Star Wars pieces that, or even just sci-fi. You know, like a lot of sci-fi costumes have these weird little dots, and I'm typing away and nothing. There's no computer screen. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm communicating with people in my arm. So he makes a lot of really gadgets like that. He has some incredible Skyrim helmets. He has a Dragon Age helmet, which you can kind of see right there. There's the top of it. Its wings are off. I gotta redo the connections. Somehow my connectors broke. And he has, okay, sorry, my cat, he wants to say hello. There's your debut. Go right there. Okay, this is what happens when you have animals. They break into your live stream. But Alan also has really good, he's like these cool thermal detonators that are cast out of resin, but he has some really good work. So check him out there. There's also punished props. So say you really want to learn how to cosplay, or you know someone in your household who wants to learn how to cosplay. Punished props is amazing for their foam smithing books. Bill Duran and Britt are incredible. So if you go to their site, you can get digital downloads of their books. I don't know if they print, I think they sell printed versions. I'm not entirely certain, but you can do that as well. So punishedprops.com, and you can get books from them. They sell blueprints. It's amazing. They have a lot of links telling you what tools your crafter would need, or you as a crafter would require. So I would recommend visiting their site. I would also recommend visiting Kamui Cosplay. She has amazing books that are digital download and for sale in printed version. And they talk about building stuff with, the cat's invading again, with thermoplastic. She's starting to do more foam smithing as well. And she also has a new LEDs book that is so cool. I think I'm going to buy it because I have an LEDs book from Arm and Armor, I believe it is. I think that's what it's called. And it's really good. But I could always use more LED books because I'm going to be using LEDs and motors in some of my costumes next year. So I really need to figure out how to use them better. But KamuiCosplay.com, great place to get some how-to books. There's also, if you're into Star Wars or you're into like really crazy headpieces and you want to be a Twi'lek, you could also go to Twi'lek Pam. She's on Etsy. I don't think she's having a Black Friday sale, but for anybody that wants to be a Twi'lek and is not allergic to latex, this cat, I just had to put him on my lap. If they're not allergic to latex, then you could use them. I recommend Amber just because her Laku are very light. They attach to a hat. You can create whatever cover you want, and they move like crazy. They just wiggle. It's awesome. But for other people, also Amber sells Togrutas. Like, you want to be a Togruta? You could be Ahsoka Tano. Heck yeah, I want to be Ahsoka. You could be little Ahsoka or the adult Ahsoka. She sells both of them. But Twi'lek Pam also sells latex ones, and they come all the way over to your head. So if you don't want to put a cover on your Twi'lek and you want to just have it flush to your head, and you want to use some Prosaid cream or some latex or something to blend it with your skin, you can also visit her as well. There are a lot more cosplayers. Some of the best ways to find local cosplayers, honestly, or cosplayers who can provide you with the custom items that you require, is going to Etsy and looking up cosplay retail or just cosplay items like cosplay arm socks or whatever it is that you need. They're usually, I don't know, most of the discounts that I see for cosplay creators, fabricators is usually 10 to 25% off because this is their living and it's a little bit more difficult for them since it's all handcrafted, but it's still pretty awesome. I think that's all the sales. So let me go through the list real fast. Places that are doing sales right now. Arda Wigs starts their sale on Monday and it goes through Wednesday. TNT Cosplay Supply has a sale Friday, Saturday, and Monday, and they supply foam and more things than that. Joann's has a huge Black Friday sale. Just check out their site. Spandexworld.com, 20% off anything you can buy. Fabrics.com is anywhere from 20 to 50% off today. Honeycolor is up to 50% off contacts today. Epic Cosplay Wigs has 20 to 40% off their wigs today. Amazon, their Black Friday deal goes through like Monday, sometimes even later. You just kind of have to go to Amazon and see what's going on. They also have seem to have giveaways every day, so that's pretty cool too. And then Home Depot and Harbor Freight both have Black Friday deals going on today as well. So if you need full cosplays too, there is Migo Costumes. If you need props or accessories or want something custom, Amber Bright, Alan Amos, Punished Props, Twi'lek Pam, Kamui Cosplay, General. I mean, you can also go to the Yaya Han store. I haven't visited it in a little while. I haven't bought from there, but I don't know if they have a deal. But, you know, there's more custom stuff there too. And if you really want to be like a My Little Pony inspired creature, she's got a lot of ears and horns and wings that are pretty cool. So I think that was 25 minutes of sales. So thanks for enduring. That was amazing. I did not know I could talk that long about sales. I need a break. Okay, all right, my break's over. All right, so since the sale talk is over, I'm gonna slide over here. And the cat, you're a jerk, kitty. All right, I'm going to show you guys this awesome, move this back a little bit. So this is my corset, and I'm going to be making a custom Amazon. There is a group, and a group that's growing across the nation actually, in Arizona called the Phoenix Amazons. Now the sisterhood of the Amazons is not just in Phoenix. You can also go online on Facebook and look up Amazon cosplay group, or just look up Phoenix Amazons and it should link you to the public group. But here in Arizona, there's a little colony of Amazons, and I've decided to join the cadre of Amazonians. So to start, I need to make a corset, and my goal with this particular build is, since it's Black Friday and since it's like Thanksgiving weekend, I found all the scrap fabric, and I'm gonna show you this because it's funny and sad at the same time. But I found all the scrap fabric and foam in my cosplay room, and yeah. This is everything I could find that I have not used. So this is going to make, hang on, let me flip back here. That is going to make my Amazon. Now I'm going to step away for a second because I just realized I forgot my tape, and you'll see why the tape's important. They get attacked by things. I think it's in here. Yeah. Okay, my tape's in here. Hey again. I can't snap this thing on. There. Okay. So I moved Thane because you should be able to see him because he's funny and creepy, and he was also kind of in the way. So, all right. The reason I get tape, and it's not like normal tape, it's just painter's tape. But the beauty of this painter's tape All right, so the beauty of this painter's tape, because my connection just freaked out for a hot second there, so I waited for you guys, is you can create patterns with it. All right, now, since I already had this corset, I decided I was going to use it. All right. So take off the strip. This is how I create patterns for costumes. Now, the great part about this particular costume is the top part here of this corset is not going to be visible because I'm wearing armor over the top. See if I can find a picture for you guys so you guys can see this. But I'm wearing armor over the top of this, and it's going to cover here. Get you guys a picture so you can see if I know how to connect everything. This is, forgive me, this is like my first long live stream. Usually my live streams are like short. Okay. Here we go. And I think we're gonna get this picture here. And then you guys can see what I'm talking about for the Amazons too. Show you guys Amazons, they're cool. Okay. So that's my Amazon. That's what I'm making. And it's a lot of little like herringbone lines. But the top's covered. So since the top's covered, honestly, I want to do leather all the way up, but if this doesn't cover the top here, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's my custom Amazon that I'm making. Okay, so you take these little strips of tape, and honestly, it might be easier with how this particular corset is. It might be easier if I just do the strips like this. Yeah. The reason you do strips is if you even if this is a person or on this particular thing, as you see, I'm only going to do one side because this corset's identical. So I just have to do this side and then do this side. And then eventually what I'll do is I'll put a piece of Velcro up here and Velcro down here. And that way, whenever I'm wearing it, there's this strip down the center that hides where the clips are. So I can get in and out of it pretty easy still. A lot of cosplayers, when they make corsets, you have to get out the side or the back. I want to just rip it out the front. I want to like She-Hulk it, be free. But the reason, again, while you do strips is you can tighten your pattern if you don't do strips. So if you start wrapping it around and you just do it that way, you potentially shrink what you're making. And that can be a problem, especially with the fact that I'm going to add a whole bunch of leather to this. That is somewhat stretchy. I got like a stretchy leather, but if it wasn't stretchy, I wouldn't be able to wear it. So I want to put it in strips, and then I'll draw my pattern onto it, and then transfer that pattern to some poster board, cut it out, and then eventually I'll transfer the pattern, to this, which is the leather that I'm going to put on top of this corset. Now you're probably wondering, how are you going to attach it? You're not going to sew it on there, are you? No. I have two ways I'm going to attach it. I'm actually going to test them, like on the back or like the top where it's hidden. But I have this rapid diffuse super glue, which is supposed to work for fabrics and leathers, but I'm kind of iffy on it. I also have contact cement. Contact cement is a type of adhesive that you apply one side and the one side, so I'd have to rough this up since it's like a nice surface. I'd need to take like a piece of sandpaper, and I would need to actually rough up the fabric so that when the back of the leather, which is already rough, glues on, it doesn't slip. But this is fantastic because after you rough it up and you put contact cement on it, and you let it kind of dry for about a minute or two, depending on the type of contact cement you are. Read the back, or you have, read the back of it, it'll tell you. It will adhere to it, and then it stays. That doesn't, you're more likely to like destroy your corset, then rip the bond between contact cement and whatever you've attached it to. It is toxic, so you do need to wear gloves and a mask. You don't necessarily need a respirator, but something that is full coverage all the way around. If you're really clumsy, maybe wear some safety glasses if you think you're going to splash glue in your face. But this is how I kind of get started with developing patterns for my costumes. Yes, it is tedious, but for a corseted item like this, I want it to be spot on, so I'm just going to deal with the fact that it's tedious, sigh a lot, and make it happen. As you can see though, it moves pretty fast. This painter's tape's a little bit older, so it's lifting. I would suggest maybe using newer painter's tape. Don't be cheap like me. So I'm not cheap, I just did not realize this was old painter's tape. So I think, yeah. And what I want to try to do is I'm going to have to go all the way around to this side and the back. Right here, it'll end here. So I don't mind showing this part right here on the corset, but I am probably going to change the privacy flaps that they have right here to leather. And then I might change to leather ties in the future, but for now I'm just going to keep this tie. Just keep, it's like Dory right here. Just keep on swimming, keep on swimming. Keep on taping, 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 taping. But let's see. Okay, I had to check the time. Because I do love spending time with all of you, but I do have to go somewhere after this. It's the fabric store to watch people, maybe buy fabric if it's not bad, but most likely watch people. There is this fabric store in my state called Mo Queen Fabrics that I've never been to. I'm very curious about, so I need to go check it out. I did not even know there was another fabric store other than Joann's here, because I know that some of my Michaels sell fabric, but not all of them. So usually I only go to Joann's, or I buy all my fabric online. Simply because I've purchased fabric from Joann's and it's been old and it's fallen apart on me. And when you're making costumes for other people or even for yourself and the fabric falls apart, it's devastating. So the only other fabric store I like to go to is a place called SAS usually. But SAS is like a 45-minute drive from my house, and in Black Friday traffic, that doesn't sound fun to me. We're not going to do that today. But if you guys have any questions, even if you have questions later, say you see me doing this, you know, you're out shopping right now, and you don't have time to watch some crazy girl tape up a weird mannequin, that's okay. You can watch this later. And if you're watching it later and you have a question, you can ask questions in the comments, or you can email me at Fangirl Nation. It's skits@fangirlnation.com. You can also just bother me on my cosplay page, which is what I respond to the most. It's Thermo Cosplay. You can reach me on my website as well, so thermocosplay.com, or just go to facebook.com/thermocosplay, and I can answer questions for you. I do a lot of panels. I've started competing again recently, so I just recently won Best in Advanced for the Thane Krios cosplay at the Tucson Comic Con, so that was pretty exciting. But now that means I have to compete in advanced categories, which is scary. It means I gotta step up my game, maybe invest in a serger. I've cleaner edges. I mean, that's one thing I'd like to talk about. This is random. But say you're sewing your cosplay and you've got an edge and you're like, okay, I can either roll this edge or I can get a serger and have a serged edge. Well, you could do that. You could roll the edge, you could hem it, you could just straight stitch it or zigzag along the edge, whatever you choose to do. Or you could do the Sam way, which is a little bit longer, a little bit more expensive, but makes it so much more durable in the long run. You can get bias tape, and you can bias tape your edges. They sell really thin bias tape, double fold bias tape, or you can get single fold, and you just put it along the edges. So you can either use bias tape on all your edges, or you can bias tape it and then fold the hem and hem it. But that helps keep certain fabrics, like I use a lot of polypoplin, and it frays horribly, no matter if you use fray check or not. So using bias tape along the edge and then folding it under makes it much more durable and ensures that the seam will not come apart. I do that not just on my hems, I do it on my seams too. So where my seams are for certain fabrics, I bias tape it with a really thin bias tape. You can make it yourself too if you have a bias tape maker. Otherwise, just buy some extra bias tape next time you're at the fabric store, and then use it on your seams and your hems and your edges, whatever you want to do, and it will help keep a really clean edge, and it will give you bonus points if you're competing in cosplay, because a lot of people like to see clean edges when they're sewing. They don't want to like open it up and see this jagged cut fraying thing. For those of you also who are using spandex and faux leather, which I use in a lot of my costumes, cleaning it can be tricky. What you can do is, I just recently purchased some Lysol that smells like Gain. So Lysol disinfectant is really good. You have to spray from a fair distance and then let it air dry. But that's a great way to disinfect your clothing if you can't afford dry cleaning. Otherwise, stick to dry cleaning, tell them what it is, but dry cleaning is usually the only way to wash a lot of this faux leather. You can also take alcohol wipes and wipe it down. Make sure they don't have bleach in them. But you can take alcohol wipes and wipe down leather. But for the inside of the clothing, because most of these fake leathers have like a cloth interior, you'll want to use either dry cleaning or a Lysol disinfectant spray. Which is great that they sell them smelling like Gain now, because it just smells like I freshly laundered it. And I know I'm not sitting in my same sweat from the last time I wore it, because that's gross. But you learn tricks the more you cosplay, because some character fabrics are just not easy to work with. And you want to wear it, and it looks great, but you also don't want to smell. Please, please don't go to a con in a costume that you haven't washed. No one will want to be near you at all. Okay, so as you can see, that was pretty fast, but I've finished applying the tape to all of this. I think what I might do is just do a couple strips across, because this is all one way, so as I peel it off, it could just come apart. So I'm going to put some stabilizing strips. For those of you just joining us, we talked earlier about the Black Friday cosplay deals going on. I'll remind you guys, Arta Wigs, Epic Cosplay, Amigo Costumes, Alan Amos Creations, Punished Props, Amber Bright, Home Depot, Lowe's, Joann's, Amazon. So, there's your reminder, if you didn't want to go all the way back to the beginning. So I don't know if you, I think you can do that with a live stream on YouTube. You can do it with Facebook. Okay. I think I have enough stabilizing strips. I feel pretty comfortable with taking this off. So where it's not even, I'm just going to draw a straight line. But this is where I get to start drawing on where I want my herringbone patterns to be. What I do is I get a Sharpie. And that picture I showed you, I have it in my head. I memorized it, but if you don't have your stuff memorized, what you can do is you can obviously print it out, or you can have it displayed. You know, whatever's easiest for you. All right, so draw this line so I know where to cut straight. And again, even if this isn't cut straight, it doesn't matter because I'm, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm putting a strip in the middle. That's what I'm doing. Also, the bottom of the corset doesn't really need to be perfect either because I am also going to be wearing a belt. But for my sanity's sake, I'm going to try my best to line this up. I chose a black corset. I had an extra corset, so kind of chose it, kind of didn't. But I was happy I had a black corset because I wanted the leather that I'm attaching to have like a black inside. So now I don't have to do that myself. I don't have to go in and double sew. It's already black and I can weather it, and that makes it a lot easier. If you want to weather clothing, Fangirl Nation, we actually have a how to paint fabric tutorial. It's a cell shading tutorial, and it's not just cell shading. It tells you how you can paint fabric and still make it machine washable. Since this is a leather corset, I'm not worried about it being machine washable, but still, what I could do is there are leather paints that I can use so that it will at least look nicer, and it will stay flexible because leather is pretty flexible. But what you can do is you can buy this fabric medium by Americana, and this fabric medium, when mixed 1-to-1 with a high-grade acrylic, makes the paint machine washable. So, if you want machine washable paint, like I have a Nora cosplay, and I also have a Nisha from Borderlands, and I really wanted to be able to wash those costumes, so I used the Americana 1 part, so like 1 drip with 1 drip of acrylic, or 1 cup of acrylic with 1 cup of Americana, however you want to measure it. It's a 1-to-1 mixed ratio, and you paint it, you let it dry for 24 hours, then you heat seal it with like a hot heat gun or a hair dryer or an iron. If you do an iron, you need to put like wax paper on top of the design so you don't actually melt the design because it still hasn't completely set. After it's heat set, you can wash it and dry it, and it should not go anywhere. The first time you wash and dry, just in case you have bleeding because maybe you painted it a little heavy, I would wash it by itself in the washing machine. But other than that, you should have no problems. I didn't have any problems the first time. I forgot that I hadn't washed it, and I washed it with a whole bunch of other things. Didn't have any issues whatsoever. Alright, so I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife to cut off some of this extra. It's not a necessary step, but it irritates me having this extra tape on here. So. Alright. Or not. I guess I'm not going to do that. I think I need to sharpen my blade. I'll do that later. Okay. I'll stop being so finicky and just start drawing the lines for my crazy little... Okay. Apparently I'm trying to throw it at you guys. I'm sorry. So I'm going to turn this to here. Alright. I'm going to turn this light on to make it easier for you guys to see. Alright, it's a little bit better. Okay, so I've got this, and now I'm going to start drawing on it. And I kind of wanted them to go this way. So, I think. Yeah, I wanted them to go down because I was going to have it all kind of go down like this. By the way, if you have it go down, it's a slimming effect. Yay! Like there's strip number 1, and I'm literally going to write number 1 on it. Because it's really important when you're making patterns that you number them. So like if you're starting here and going down, yeah. Usually I play music, but YouTube's very picky about what you're allowed to play while you're streaming, which is understandable. Obviously, they don't want to have any copyright infringement. So you might hear me humming occasionally as a little song pops into my head. Okay. Now I'm going to take this, kind of bring it all the way around. All right. I think I want these to be split down the middle here, because I don't know if my fabric's long enough for that. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. There we go. So that piece is going to come all the way up around here. So this is going to be 5B. This is 1B. All right. I'll put all the B's in the back. These go together. This is 2B. 2B continue. 2BC. This is fun. It's trying to name this so that it all kind of goes down like this. Never done something like this before. Like I've altered corsets and added leather to them, but I've never like done this crazy custom pattern on one before. So we'll see how it works. The back is just going to be strips, like just strips of leather, like straight strips to help line this up. I think that'll be easier for me, because the back is already flat and this already dips down, so. This is the stuff that cosplayers go through to make something awesome. At least I have this dress form, because I was kind of getting tired of accidentally stabbing myself with stuff. All right, this is already looking kind of cool to me. Okay. The great thing about transferring this to poster board like I'm going to, so I have like this spare sheet of paper like not completely poster board, it's almost poster board, is I can keep it for a long period of time, so that if for some reason I make this and my weight changes or something like that, I've got like this pattern that I can follow again. So. I'm almost done with this, and I know our stream is almost done. So the great thing about this is I'll flip the camera, show you guys what it looks like, give you some reminders of where you can get some awesome cosplay stuff today, and send you guys on your way out into the wild blue yonder, green yonder, white yonder, wherever it is that you are. Set you free. All right, so I really want this to still have some cool, I want to have a herringbone here. So I'm going to have to follow the curve of this hip. Close to guessing that one. All right. So what I can do here is honestly just there. Okay. And there we are. The pattern has been drawn for this. It looks like a bunch of little stripes, but once I cut it all out and glue it on, it'll look a little bit better. So maybe what I could do too is do some little cuts in here. Just kind of like do a start from like the boob part here. And before I glue it down, have these little cuts here. There. Yeah, that'll look cool. Oh, in there. Actually, I should. There. All right, so we've got to start wrapping up here. So before I wrap up, I'm going to take this little light thing that I have on here off of here. I'm going to flip this. There we go. So you can see there's some lines here that kind of go all the way around. Okay, I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but I'm having some connection problems. So I'm going to wish you all well. Wish you the best. Look, my connection came back. But since this is about to die, and I think it's because they're doing service in my area unexpectedly, I'm going to let you all go. If you have questions again, you can contact us at fangirlnation.com. You can contact me at fangirlnation, or you can contact me at thermalcosplay.com. Make sure to go to these following places for your awesome cosplay deals today. Arta Wigs, TNT Cosplay Supply, Joann's Fabrics, Spandex World, Fabrics.com, Honey Color, apparently Angry Doggy, Epic Cosplay Wigs, no doggy, Amazon, Home Depot, and Harbor Freight. And it was great streaming with all you guys. I'm going to let you go because I'm having connectivity issues, you know. And someone might be at my door because my dog is barking a lot. But it was it's been great fun. Got to share you, 25 minutes of awesome deals with all of you and show you how to make a quick pattern. So, bye everyone. Fangirl on.